Hey everybody, Playtendoguy here, and I'm back with another video. It's Monday, so you know what that means. It's time for another weekly pickups video. Wow, it's actually a fortnightly one because I didn't do one last week because of hay fever. And today, typically, I'm full of hay fever yet again. But that's not going to stop me today because I've got 2 weeks worth of pickups and deliveries to show you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Right, for the past couple of weeks I've picked up quite a fair few. I've picked up quite a good stack of Arrow titles, a load of Blu-rays and a few games. So first up, let's start straight into the games. And I picked up the Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope for the PS4. I played the previous one, Man of Medan, and I wasn't a big fan of that one. I thought it was fine, it was enjoyable for the 2 hours it was on, but it wasn't really that scary. This one's a continuation. There's going to be 4 games in the series, and it's very similar to The Quarry and Until Dawn, but just like only about 2 hours long. I played through the first chapter of this, and so far it's pretty good. It's pretty dark. The opening to it is unbelievably dark, to be fair. But I look forward to playing more of this. Really enjoying it so far. So yeah, that's Little Hope, and that was only about $7.99 from the game collection. Next up is the biggest game of last week, and that's Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is an action spin-off to Fire Emblem Three Houses, and so far I'm really enjoying it. It's way better than the previous Fire Emblem Warriors game, and on about the same size as Age of Calamity Hyrule Warriors. But yeah, it's an all-out action game. It may not look the best, but it's a very fun game with loads of strategic and RPG elements. So yeah, I got that from Amazon for 40 quid. So that's Fire Emblem Warriors. Next up is an absolute doozy of a pickup. I picked up Doraemon, Doraemon? No idea. Story of Seasons for the Nintendo Switch. I remember when this came out about last year or the year before, and it's like an Animal Crossing farming sort of simulator game based on like the Doraemon anime in Japan. This is the German edition. I picked it up on Amazon for a quid. Free delivery for a quid. Yeah, this was going around for a quid. A lot of people were posting on Facebook, oh, this popped up, and they got it. And I missed out on it, and then it popped up on a Sunday afternoon a few weeks ago, and I thought, you know what, order it. And I ordered it, and it arrived last week. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I haven't played it yet, so hopefully it will play in English, but if it doesn't, I've got a spare Switch case for a quid. So yeah, that's Story of Seasons, Doraemon. I don't know how to pronounce it. For a quid. Right, so anyway, onto the actual Blu-rays now, and there's quite a few to show you. There's 2 piles, there's like just normal Blu-ray releases and some arrows. So first up, we've got, I did watch Replicant from the Jean-Claude Van Damme range a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very odd and surreal film, but I liked it. Michael Rooker was great in it, and so was Jean-Claude Van Damme. But yeah, I see like one of his other films was on offer, and that's Legionnaire. Haven't really got a clue what it's about, but it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme film, so it's going to be over-the-top action. And look at that, absolutely glossy slip. I really do like it. I noticed a few more of these are on offer, but unfortunately my local H&V haven't got them in. I'm very tempted to collect the others because I really do think they look nice together with that spine. But I do want to get the ones with the limited edition on, with the numbered spine, the booklet, and the poster, because I think that that'll be nice to get. But yeah, normally 15 quid, $7.99, really good price. As it said, you get a poster, a booklet in it, and obviously the film, loads of special features, and this is limited edition, 420 out of 3,000. So yeah, not too bad for $7.99, so that's Legionnaire. Next up was the biggest release of not last week but the week before, and that's The Batman. Watched this when it came out in cinemas, really did enjoy it. Watched it over the weekend when this came out, and I love it even more. I think it's an absolutely fantastic interpretation of the Batman, and I would say it's either my second or my third favourite Batman film. My favourite being Batman Begins. It's definitely more of a detective film than an actual Batman film, and I really do appreciate it for taking new sort of risks. It's a gorgeous film. It's very moody. I think Robert Pattinson is fantastic as Batman, and all the supporting cast are brilliant here. If you played the Batman Arkham games, I can see this really into you because they feel like live action versions appealing to you, as it feels more like a live action interpretation of the Arkham games. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this series go, because we're apparently getting a sequel in about 3 years' time, and they're also going to expand it into TV shows. So yeah, that's the Batman, and it comes with 2 discs. You do get like a load of special features. But yeah, the Batman. I'm sorry for the constant cutting. It's my hay fever starting off, and I'm either sneezing or it's really, really hot in this house. But either way, we move on. I ordered this from HMV. I ordered it with a 101 release, but unfortunately, the 101 release never got dispatched. And I found out that they pulled it either because probably it was sold out or there was a manufacturer's fault. But anyway, my other film, my 88 film, arrived, and it was Charles Bronson in Messenger of Death. Yeah, I watched this the other night, and it was a film, alright. It wasn't that good, to be fair. It was a very cheap Canon film. I thought its opening was incredibly dark, very dark, but it was enjoyable enough. I think $7.99 is the price to pay for it. I wouldn't have paid no more for it. It's not really worth it. You do get a little booklet in it, but very small writing in it. But yeah, basically this family gets murdered. Charles Bronson is a reporter in this one, and he goes to investigate, and he basically gets involved in local family issues. Is it family? Is it not? Well, you'll have to watch to find out. But it's a fun enough film. It breezes past at 90 minutes. It just ends, which is kind of odd. But Charles Bronson always carries these ho-hum films, and I didn't mind Messenger of Death. I'd give it a good 5 out of 10. But yeah, also comes in this lovely black case. So yeah, Messenger. The new release on Blu-ray last week was probably this one, The Mechanic. Yes, they remade this a few years ago with Jason Statham, and I think they did a couple of more with him in it. But this one's the original one, directed by Michael Winner, who also went on to direct Death Wish with Charles Bronson. I think he directed the first 3. But yeah, this one basically sees Charles. The story of this goes, Charles Bronson is the mechanic. He is basically an assassin, a hitman, and he has many inventive ways of offing many different people. But as he's getting old, he's looking for an apprentice, so he decides to take on this young lad, who seems a bit cocky at first, but they bond and they get a relationship going. But as the tables turn, does the student try to off the master? Well, they'll have to find out when you watch The Mechanic. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It definitely did take a little while to get going, I thought, but the final half an hour of it was fantastic. Charles Bronson was brilliant in it. I still prefer Death Wish over this, but it's still a fantastic film and definitely worth picking up. I actually picked this up on Amazon, and it was only like 12 or 13 quid, so it was a little bit cheaper than HMV. Currently in cinemas, and the director previously worked on this film with Ethan Hawke. I decided to pick this up, and that's Sinister. I watched this over the week, and I must admit I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a brilliant film. It was such a cool sort of gimmick, shall I say, or style of using like video reels to tell the story of what happened to these previous families. It keeps you guessing, it keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it can be quite scary at times. There's a scene with a lawnmower that if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. The jump scare at the end also got me, even though I knew it was coming, but I honestly really did enjoy Sinister, and I cannot wait to watch The Black Phone, whether I see it at cinemas or wait for its physical release. But yeah, that's Sinister. Recently got a second sight release. I was thinking about getting the second sight release, but then I saw it was about 18 quid, and I thought that was a bit steep for a film that has been going around for quite cheap. So I decided to pick up a brand new copy of Drive for only 3 quid. This is the original run of the film. This one came out in 2010, 2011. And I watched this one last night, and honestly, I thought the picture quality on this was absolutely fantastic. especially driving at night and all the neon lights and everything. It just looked wonderful. But yeah, I watched this last night and absolutely loved it. I thought it was a superb film. I thought Ryan Gosling was great in it. Carey Mulligan. I was surprised how good the cast was. You even got Bryan Cranston in it, as well as Ron Perlman and even Oscar Isaacs. So yeah, fantastic film. It's definitely a slow-paced thriller, but once you kick into the final half, it really, really does go places. I absolutely love Drive, so yeah, highly recommend watching Drive. So yeah. It's a really nice addition. I honestly don't know whether the Second Sight one is worth the big upgrade, but honestly, I'm very happy with this one and the soundtrack. If I didn't say it already, the soundtrack's brilliant. Right, so next up is a box set that I've been wanting to get for a little while, and I saw it in HMV and was going to get it from HMV, but decided to check on Amazon and it was about 12 quid. Left it for another day and it went down to a tenner. And I had a £5 voucher, so for £5 and change I got the Stallone Collection, which includes Cobra, Assassins, Tango and Cash, The Specialist and Demolition Man. So very much like the Steven Seagal box set I picked up a few weeks ago, this one includes like 5 films from Stallone's catalogue with Warner Brothers, so yeah. I did watch Cobra the other week and really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fantastic little fun over-the-top action film. I did read somewhere that it was originally going to be 2 hours long, so I'm very intrigued to see what that version of the film would have been like, but it's very brisk at 80 odd minutes, and I really did enjoy it. Next up is Assassins. It's got Antonio Banderas in, but I haven't seen that one yet, and Tango and Cash with Kurt Russell. I might have seen that one years ago, but I can't really remember. The Specialist with Sharon Stone. Haven't seen that one yet, but I've heard it's not too bad. And Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes, which I've seen many a times on TV, and I really do enjoy that film, so I'm looking forward to rewatching that one. But yeah, they come in like a 2 case box set, 3 discs in this one, 2 discs in that one. But yeah, very nice edition and an absolute bargain for 5 quid. So that's the Stallone Collection. Next up, Zavi's been doing like an arrow sale. Some of the titles have gone down to $7.99, which is the price they used to be on sales instead of $8.99. So I checked on Amazon and quite a few of them have also been reduced to $7.99. So I decided to pick up a stack. So yeah, so let's dive straight into it. First up is Wayne Crawford and John Hurt in Jade Speed. Now this film certainly's got a story to it because I ordered it from Amazon and when it arrived, this whole case here was broken to bits. Yeah. So I had to eventually wait for a replacement to come. And then when I went to trade in, well not trade in, when I went to take the other film back, they wouldn't accept it for some reason. They didn't know what to do. So it was a lot of messing about. But anyway, I finally got my copy of Jade Speed here. Haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to watching it. It looks like it's going to be an over-the-top 80s cheese fest action film. It says that it takes inspiration from Romancing the Stone, and we do have John Hurt here in quite apparently a menacing role. So yeah, this one actually does come with the booklet, because I can see under there that it does come with the booklet. So this one's been out for quite a while, so I assume probably it hasn't sold well if it still comes with a booklet. I'm glad to have that in the collection, and that's Jade Speed, so looking forward to giving this one a go. Next one is a film that I have seen. I've seen it many a time, well, a couple of times before, but I haven't seen it in a very long while. And that's Clive Owen, Julianne Moore, and Michael Caine in Children of Men. A post-apocalyptic, more or less film where there's no children and no future. But the whole rest of humanity holds on this one woman who's actually pregnant. And they basically have to like get her from one part of the country to another. It's a very heartbreaking film. I haven't seen it in quite a long time, so I can't really remember what happens in it, but I did really enjoy it at the time, and I'm looking forward to rewatching it. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a booklet, but that doesn't matter. This only cost me $7.99, so that's Children of Men. Al Pacino films recently, I noticed he had one on the Our label, and that's Cruising. Yeah. Don't really know much about it, but from what I'm gathering, it's like a detective sort of drama thing. It sees Al Pacino going undercover, trying to find out who's murdering all these men. And yeah, it's supposed to get quite fruity in this one, I've heard. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. Next up, this is a film that I spoke to with Andy from Forgotten World of Movies. Link in the description. About, and he said it's quite a fun film, so I decided to pick up FM. Yeah, basically it's just about a radio station. I think they're going to close it down, so they do this like one massive, great big gig to try and save the radio station. Set in the 70s, going to be very 70s focused, probably be quite dated today, but it looked like a lot of fun. It does. It's got a pretty good cast and it's got some great cameos with Tom Petty apparently making a cameo here. The music here's got from the Doobie Brothers, Steely Dan, and the Eagles, as well as Tom Petty himself. So, very looking forward to watching this one. And again, it was only $7.99. So that's FM. I remember reading up about this film, and apparently it was a box office flop, but the soundtrack went platinum. Well, it would have done, with the huge amount of brilliant tracks on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this one a watch. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So that's FM. Picked up this one. This one actually had a slip. I've seen this one about for quite a few times, but I never picked it up because I really didn't know what it was about. And that's Zombie for Sale. This one was reduced for $7.99 as well, and I read up about this one and it looks like a lot of fun. It's a Korean film, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a horror comedy-esque film, taking a bit of a mix of Warm Bodies and Train to Busan. Basically, this zombie, these people adopt a zombie and he bites one of them and cures all their ailments. So what do? They put him up for sale and let him bite people. They charge people to let him bite them. Yeah, it sounds like an absolute bizarre film, but I've heard it's really good, and no doubt all these people will turn into zombies and then they have to slay them all. I don't know, but that's Zombie for Sale in a lovely slipcover, and I think you do get a booklet as well. So yeah. Next up in the haul is Street Mobster. Directed by Kinji Fukasawa, is it? How you pronounce his name? I apologise if I butchered it. But yeah, this is a Japanese crime drama, Yakuza-like tale, and I do have a really soft spot for these sort of over-the-top action Yakuza films. I really do enjoy them. And this one looks great. I'd never really heard of it, and then I saw it on Amazon. I checked out the trailer and I thought, yeah, that looks great. So yeah, I've ordered it and it's arrived. It's only 88 minutes long, but it looks like a lot of fun time. I think this led to the Battles Without Honor and Humanity series, which I do definitely want to pick up, but they're quite expensive for the box set, and it only comes in like 2 cases. It's like 50 quid. Do I buy the box set or do I buy them single cased? And I'm kind of tempted to get them singly cased, to be fair. But yeah, that is Street Mobster, called Yakuza Law. This one's been on my watch list for a very, very long time. I've been wanting to get it ever since I got into Arrow about a couple of years ago. But I just never got around to it. I've heard it's very over the top with its violence, quite extreme even for its time. And this is set in like 3 different sort of time periods. Set in different periods, you've got the Edo period, you've got another period, and you've also got the modern era, well, at the time, 60s period. I've seen some of the action sequences and oh my days, how did they get away with it back in the 60s? But yeah, it looks absolutely brutal with its bloody violence. But yeah, definitely looking forward to watching this one. I've heard some pretty good things about it, so yeah, that's Yakuza Law. So yeah, the penultimate pickup is Bad Moon Rising. I mean, Black Moon Rising. Yeah, I don't really know much about this film, but it stars Tommy Lee Jones and Linda Hamilton. Both of them are great actors in their own right. Anything with Tommy Lee Jones in is always going to be brilliant. But from what I gather, it seems to be very similar to like Knight Rider in its setup, because it's like to be this like supercar that does like so many miles an hour or something. It's just going to be something really stupid, very cheesy, very 80s. So I thought, you know what? Pick it up and see what it's like. I think it's actually written by John Carpenter, so that's another plus. So yeah, that's Black Moon Rising. And the final pickup of the past couple of weeks is a giallo film called The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion. Yeah, very odd title indeed, but this is a giallo type film. I think this is even before like Dario Argento, and Basically, this woman meets this bloke, and this bloke says, "Your husband's having an affair. Your husband's a murderer. That's it." And he's blackmailing her to have an affair with him, I think. But it looks really cool. Looks like it's full of like suspicion and threat. So yeah, definitely looking forward to watching this one. No doubt from some of the photographs it'll probably be a bit saucy, but yeah, that's the forbidden photos of a lady above suspicion. So that's all the pickups and deliveries for the past week, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. Sorry it's been so long. I haven't been that well with the hay fever. It's been really awful, and today it's actually playing me up again, as you can probably tell by my eyes. But yeah, hopefully next week I'll feel a bit better when I do these videos. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you think of all the pickups and deliveries I've had in the past week. What films would you recommend me watch first? And before I forget, and don't forget, Wednesday night, the Wednesday night movie live streams are back, and we've got join me, Andy and Mike, where our special guest will be Paul the 4K Chef. So join us at 7:30 on Wednesday night for another night full of movie talk. It's going to be a great time. And as always, thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be totally awesome. And as always, till next time, bye.